I am a simple man, guys. When one Call of Duty pro tells another Call of Duty coach to keep on sucking the wing wang of another Call of Duty pro player to keep the cash on flowing in, I'm probably going to cover it for all of you guys, and hopefully all of you can understand where this comes from as a very unprofessional stance by a guy like Temp. It was actually him alongside Seattle coach, that being Joey, going back and forth on Twitter last night. A large majority of these conversations were afterwards deleted, but we've seen that a lot when it comes to the Call of Duty scene. A lot of things get tweeted out and then deleted afterwards. That does not mean, though, plenty of people did not see these tweets, and it got pretty heated pretty fast. It was actually first Temp responding to a Joey Nubzy tweet, apparently talking about Mac Melt's food order, and apparently how scrims had been horrific today for the Subliners. Temp then responds saying, "It was better than a good day for your camp. Wonder who built that camp. Fools should get fired. Mac's just a little hungry." Nubzy then later saying, "My team hasn't chalked it as far as I'm aware. We've been having a great time and improving. I wouldn't worry about my focus. We both have a lot to work on. As for Mac, do better nurturing the young talent before it's a passing regret." Also later telling Temp to not bully the guy too much, but Temp responded with a quote tweet saying, "LMAO, nurturing fools had the 3 times send him to retirement and enable one of the winningest players in Call of Duty history straight to the bench. You don't know what the heck you're doing, and you would be shocked if it wasn't for Sam." That is Octane, by the way. "You better be holding on to his pocket for dear life. LMAO." Then Nubzy later says he also coached teams that had you walking off Station Bravo in 38 minutes flat. Now try to remain professional. The fact you haven't learned that professionalism matters by now is very telling. You'd think it would by now. Then Temp responds, "Nothing against your former players, but y'all got last at champs. No, you're even more shocked. I played your team that was having mid-series subs." Joey replies saying, "You got last at champs 365 days prior to that." Temp replies, "Cap, I got second to last with Bryson Saints, who is going through a divorce. Just stop." And here is where finally, man, if you guys are viewers of the channel, we cover a lot of esports out there, a lot of scenes, and I got to keep it flat across the board when it comes time for any pro from any scene, no matter what the age. If you say things like we're about to read off for all of you, I'm probably not going to find it very appropriate for the situation. A key note on what Joey said earlier about professionalism, and Temp certainly lost it in his next statement, saying, "Bro, what? Just stop tweeting me. Go suck Sam's cock. It will keep the cash flowing in." As it is well known that Octane and Joey are good friends, and Temp seemingly is thinking that's why Joey has a job on this Seattle Surge roster, who, by the way, already has its slew of issues, which I want to talk about more in the future, and the way they have handled themselves publicly. I don't think all of this falls on a guy like Temp necessarily, but certainly in this case, what do I say? You remember back to the Scump and Crimsix beef we talked about preseason and early on in the season as well. Never did it cross the line of one of those guys saying, go and suck that dude's gigabat, and the cash will keep flowing in. It never went to that point, right? You remember Gunless and that brutal beatdown of his breakup with the Huntsman starting roster now being benched, and if he will be traded this season, it seems unlikely. All he did was say that no one had the balls to tell him about it. That was, seemingly appropriate with how frustrated he was and the situation, given, of course, all the context around it. Remember Pac-Man, how he got screwed over by Optic Gaming? He never, yes, he said a lot about how he was treated behind the scenes, and I would say very appropriately put forth all of the information about how he was screwed. He never said, though, anything about that. When you take it to this, and yes, you publicly tweet this, and you might take it back hours later, these tweets were up for quite some time, enough for me to grab them. When you are publicly stating as a part of the Call of Duty League and as a part of an organization out there and telling another coach to suck his player's cock to keep the money flowing in, that is not professional. It's not at all. I don't know if there's going to be a league punishment, if there's going to be an organizational punishment. I don't know. At this point, it seems unlikely, but you don't get away with saying these kind of things. And I'm super curious because as we talk about more of these esports and crazy COD stories, I don't exactly know how to react. I'll be frank with all of you guys. I don't know exactly, should I ask for a punishment? Should there be a punishment? You guys can leave your thoughts down below. So going forward, maybe I understand a bit better how to react to statements like this, because there will be plenty of people who find this unprofessional. There will be plenty of people, probably some of you guys as well, who think he was joking, It was just banter, dude. At one point or another, though, when it comes time for being a professional Call of Duty player, a grown adult, being tied to an organization, there is some line, right? I don't know where that line lies, and maybe we can find out better by what you guys think about this circumstance. Pretty crazy stuff. I think Temp lost his temper and has now regained the title that he actually accused Slacked of a couple days back of being the most toxic Call of Duty player I've ever covered. And I think that this definitely gives him the trophy back in his hands. What do you guys think? As per usual, though, I'll be back here all week long breaking down Call of Duty, esports, and gaming news. Until then, drink your water. This is ironic now when I think about it. Drink your water, drink your coffee. I'll see you guys back here next time. Oh!